Welcome to Talking Off the Clock. Here we are again in the lucky number, season 4, episode 4. This is a podcast where we dive into the people behind the titles and the passion that drives them. We love talking about that. I'm your host, Helen. Today we're talking about something that impacts us all, every single one of us, no matter where you are all over the world, mental wellness. And as we recognize Mental Wellness Month, we'll explore the importance of building healthy routines, removing stigmas around mental health, and making the most out of the resources and support systems available to employees. This podcast is powered by TTEC. So this is talking about what benefits and particular assistance are available to TTEC employees. But if you're a future employee, you definitely want to tune in to know what's in it for you when you become a TTECer, just like the rest of us. So joining me today is Justin Campbell, Benefits Analyst for TTEC Global Benefits. Justin works closely with employee wellness and benefit programs that help support every single employee, both inside and outside of our work. So Justin, thank you so much for being here today. We're so excited to have you.
Hey, thank you so much. It's my pleasure to take part of this, and I'm really excited to talk about wellness and mental health.
I love it. And before we get started, can you tell us where are you based out of? How long have you been here at TTEC?
So that's a great question. I am based out of Uniontown, PA. I have been with TTEC since February 2010. So over 16 years.
Thank you so much for being with TTEC for so long, Justin. And I cannot believe it's taken me this long to meet you. I cannot wait to learn from you today. So thanks for joining.
Absolutely.
Before we dive in today, in true Talking Off the Clock fashion, we do like to talk about a little bit about your journey. You should share how long you've been here, but what led you to become a benefits analyst? And did you always start as a benefits analyst?
So that's a great question. I did not. I was a store manager at McDonald's. That's exactly what I was. I was like, TTEC looks like a great place to work. I'm going to go work there for 5 or 6 weeks until I find something else. 16 years later, I'm still here. Wow. One of the things that I really like that TTEC does, and I know we may be jumping conversations a little bit, but I like how we promote within. And because of those opportunities, that led me to staying here. So I have held a lot of different roles and titles, from CSR, entry level, right, to being in the training department, to being in human capital, to now being part of the benefits. And I've worked with a lot of great people. Some of them I still work with. So it's been fantastic to have these opportunities.
Wow. And how exactly did you land in the world of the benefits and the benefit analyst? What led you to be wow, that looks like a great opportunity, whether it's timing? What sparked interest in you?
I think it was both timing and the fact that it was something that I was excited about. One of the things that even when you work with customer service as a frontline employee, you either learn pretty quickly, I really like this, or I really don't like this. It's pretty evident. And I really liked helping people. And the option that the benefits analyst, allowed me to do was to use some of my background when it comes to customer service, even prior to TTEC, as well as even some of my degree work with accounting and being in financial wellness, and kind of put that all together. So it was a really exciting opportunity. I was happy to take advantage of it.
Love that background. In that note, since it is the month of mental wellness, let's start with a simple but very important question. What does Mental Wellness Month personally mean to you?
Mental Wellness Month and even mental health means maintenance. That's what it means to me. It's a different word. I think there's a negative connotation when you hear someone say, I really want to take care of my mental health. The first thing you would think is, well, what's wrong with you? That's not at all what it is, right? But that's the connotation we live in, or we used to, or trying to move away from. It's maintenance. What can I do to maintain my personal health? I look at it, and we actually did a webinar recently for our employees in the wellness program called Self-Care is Not Selfish. How can you be the best version of yourself to show up for others? We think of it, well, this is being selfish. No, you're not being selfish by taking extra time to do the things that you need, your general, maintenance, like I mentioned. You're just making sure that you show up as your best self for the people in your life.
I absolutely love that. I cannot tell you how many podcast content series, and for those of you that don't know, I'm part of the talent marketing team, and my career is surrounded about bringing the TTEC story or organization stories come to life. And I have not heard it once being described as Mental Health Awareness Month. It's maintenance for your mental health, which really alludes to mental health is an everyday practice. And just like any good business, right? Like you have your quarterly reviews and your business reviews, your annual reviews. So this month is where like, tap into yourself, dedicate time to yourself. To your point, it is not selfish. So I absolutely love that. As a person also that loves structure and framework, I can definitely retain that and be like, all right, maintenance month, let's do it. So I love that description. In addition to that, I know when we're getting ready for the podcast, you had mentioned mental health isn't just about reacting when something is wrong. I don't know if this rings a bell, but it's also about creating healthy habits and routines every single day, which again, leading up to our maintenance month, right? Like as you described for mental health, that makes sense. That's important. So can you share some small practices or wellness tips that have helped you personally that for us listeners or watching, if you're watching this on YouTube, can apply and, maybe take on to their days?
Absolutely. I'm a runner. I need to be able to get out and do that. So in the evenings after my day winds down, I have a local trail here. It's kind of, woodsy, if you will. And I need that. And I'll give you a good example. So this just happened yesterday. I was getting ready. It was 5:30 my time. I finished my work and I look at the weather app and it says no rain. Good. That's great. It's awesome. So until 8 o'clock, I should say. And I get out there and at 6 o'clock, I'm like, those clouds look rough. And I'm just kind of waiting for them. And I got about a half mile in and it started raining. So I flew back to the car. And then the entire evening, I'm like walking around my table. And my wife's like, what are you walking around your table? I'm just trying to get some of that energy out. I say that to say that is my route. It's not the same. It's not the same as being outside. I need to be able to move at a certain pace to release my thoughts and to even during that time for me anyway, I reevaluate my day. Okay, what have I done better? What can I do tomorrow to make it better? And that's the perfect time for me. The other thing I would say is I've gotten more into breathing. That is not something that I practice regularly. I would say up into the last 3 or 4 months is taking time to breathe. 1, 2, 3, in and out. Very similar to the Karate Kid. No breath, no life, right? So I'm sure that a lot of listeners are probably familiar with that. Maybe the younger ones, watch it. It's a great movie. But breathing and focusing, that's fantastic. It's fantastic for me anyway. It works for me. And I would say lastly, I've become more aware of how important sleep is and how poorly I am at it and how poorly we are as a nation at sleeping. I just, even before I came on this podcast, I was looking at a University of Kentucky study that said we need 8 to 9 hours of sleep a night as adults. I'm thinking, I can't remember when I got 9 hours of sleep. I was thinking if we get up at 6:30 or 7, going to bed at 10 o'clock, that doesn't seem realistic. So trying to at least be better about those practices and understanding, hey, maybe you need to adjust your schedule and sleep a little bit more.
I love that. And my favorite part about everything you just said is that you really gave an array of examples aiming from a little bit more, what some might consider intense, like, run. Yikes, I don't remember the last time I did that, all right? Versus all the way down to the other end of the spectrum, which is like breathing exercises, which, man, even I caught myself and I almost started like chuckling because I actually, as soon as you said that, I was like, okay, deep breath. And it feels so great. And it really sounds like it, I love how you said getting outside is important to you. And this can look like differently for everybody. And I think that's the beauty about taking time to pause and really, kind of ground yourself and see, all right, what sparks me peace or balance or de-stressing? And it's really about finding healthy ways, not necessarily finding a whole like new hobby, right? It's just like finding healthy ways to manage stress and conflict, right? Like whether it's personal, whether it's at work, maybe, I don't know, it could literally be anything. Life is full of those as well as happy moments. And for those, there are great ways to release those as well. So I am obsessed with the different array of options. So if you're listening, here's your homework, right, Justin? The homework is to pick an activity, an exercise, no matter how little or small. It could be coloring, right? Like I like coloring. What about you, Justin?
I am not a big color, but my wife does have an adult coloring book with like complex patterns. As a matter of fact, it's propping my phone up right now. That is one of her coloring books.
That's the homework for our listeners, or if you're watching, pick a coloring book or an activity, whatever sparks joy for you in true Marie Kondo fashion. And pursue that this month. It's your maintenance month. It's all about you. One thing that's super encouraging is seeing more workplaces prioritize employee wellness. And, we see it all around social media, employees advocating for what they see. I know here at TTEC, people love our low sensory rooms where people can just go and just breathe, decompress, etc. But what are some key wellness activities or programs for TTEC employees or an aspiring TTECer they can look forward to participating this month?
So our wellness program really takes a holistic approach to the overall wellness, including one of our pillars is mental health. And within that mental health pillar, we build programs to help folks. We have one that's called Restful You, which is about resting and sleeping, one that I need to do again because I'm not that good at it. So that would be one of the ones. We have another program called Stress Masters, pretty much in the name. And then we also do, through the wellness program, pop-up programs. And of course, this month is Mental Health Awareness Month. So we are focusing our pop-up programs around mental health. There was even a webinar we had where it taught folks how to cope with stress. If I can just eliminate stress from my life, I'd be so much better. That is impossible. If someone figures that out, let me know.
Let me know.
You're going to make all those billionaires look poor. But for that case, it's really not. The best thing you can do is find ways to cope with the stress and be able to handle it better.
Healthy ways to do that. I mean, it sounds like we definitely have some great resources available here at TTEC and some that I've actually never heard of. I'm going to go check them out right after this. But for employees that may be listening and might not fully understand all of the benefits available to them, what advice would you give them to better familiarize themselves or maximize and utilize the benefits that they do have access to?
I would tell them to search the items they want to find on our intranet site. They know what that is. Look for the resources. We have Workplace Options, which is an employee assistance program for the globe. That's, again, for employees that are already here. There's a lot of great resources you're going to take advantage of there, as well as the local wellness programs that you have available to you.
In addition to that, I would encourage people to also talk to a friend. TTEC has such an incredible community of employees, and Justin, back me up if you agree, but I really think that you can definitely pick up the phone, be like, man, I'm really struggling with this, whether it's your manager, your people and culture team, somebody in a completely different team, or you need an outlet. We have employee resource group, which is a community of people that have both differences and alike interests that just like to come together. I think there's a place for just about everybody to really find a home at. In addition to all the benefits, I think we have amazing people, right? That you can tap into. What do you think about that, Justin?
I would agree. One of the reasons I've been here so long is I have been blessed to work with and for amazing people. Even the person I work for right now, my supervisor, Janelle, is an amazing person. She gives me autonomy to be able to work within the structure that fits me best. If there's an idea that I like, she's like, you know what? Go ahead and do it. Financial wellness is something that I have a passion about. She's like, just build your own. And I did. And she gave me those opportunities to be able to do that. And I wanted to do a podcast. She's like, do it. So I did. Having that structure and support is super important. And I also talk to her and other members of my team as well. But I would say she stands out. But other members of my team, hey, what's going on in your life? How's it going? One of the great things that our team also does is we do happy hours. We try to have happy hours as scheduled as we can to be able to just talk. Yes, it's on the phone. And sometimes it feels a little, off base. But once you get to know your coworkers, you're going to be able to be relatable. And I think there's nothing more important than being relatable and being authentic, probably in most jobs, especially in a customer service job or when you're managing people.
Absolutely. I mean, so many great and helpful resources and great insight also, Justin, into what both employees can expect and future employees can expect in our greatest benefit, which is our people. Tap into those resources again, check out our intranet, like Justin said, and start that maintenance. This is your month. For everyone listening who might be considering joining TTEC, now is the time to perk your ears. What would you want them to know, Justin, about the company's approach to wellness support and employee care? And I want you to give me a 1-minute pitch or less, maybe like a 30-second pitch. What would you tell those future employees?
I would tell you one that I would probably be the perfect example for that as somebody who decided to come in for 6 weeks, and I've been here for 16 years, and that is literally the truth. TTEC takes the approach at trying to make sure that you are the best you. You show up the best for TTEC, right? You have the wellness tools, the resources, the people that you can use to be able to have a positive experience, to be able to reach out and attain the coping mechanisms and learn how to be a better communicator as well. It's a great place to work. And I would also be remiss if I didn't mention that TTEC will promote within. That is a huge thing. Being able to come here and show, hey, I want to do this. I want to learn. I want to be productive. And I think most people, what probably sets TTEC apart, I don't think most people come in and say, boy, I really hope I do a bad job today. I don't think anyone does that, right? That doesn't sound very logical. But I think what we do well is we give folks the resources and the people around them to be able to do a good job. And that's important.
Absolutely. I could not agree more. So if you're looking for a place to grow, a place that cares, and a place that just about every other TTECer says, I'm just going to be here for a couple of weeks, or I'm just going to get started. I cannot tell you how many times I've heard that story here at TTEC. And now people are directors, managers, or joining new teams, etc. That could be you. And hey, maybe it did start at McDonald's for some of you. You never know. Just like it did for Justin. Justin, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your experiences, insights, advice about mental health. I am going to get my coloring book out right after this and make sure that I go under maintenance during this month. So really appreciate your time today.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Mental wellness is something we all navigate a little different, and conversations like this help remind us that support, healthy habits, and community truly matters. Whether it's creating a daily routine, reaching out for support, or just simply taking a small step to care for yourself, every single effort counts because you count and you matter. To everyone listening, thank you for tuning in to Talking Off the Clock yet again. And if you enjoyed this episode, I need to remind you, please subscribe so we can keep having these awesome conversations, or share it with a colleague so they can listen to the next one. And if you're interested, this is my favorite part, about growing your career in a workplace that values well-being, inclusion, and support, and so much more, explore opportunities at ttecjobs.com. I know this is not a commercial, but trust me, you won't regret applying. We would love to have you. Until next time, take care of yourself, support one another, and keep building healthy habits both on and off the clock.